ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to That Is Nice podcast. I'm your host, Nolan, and I am here today with your favorite comedian here on the show, Jake. Jake, how we doing today?
I'm doing quite well.
Thanks for clapping for yourself. I appreciate it. So I got one question for you today. This probably will not be the last one of the night, but my question is, do you watch YouTube?
It's wow, you really asked the tough ones. I do, in fact, watch YouTube.
Yeah. What do you?
This is how Nolan hits on women, by the way. This is how he does it, and this is why he too good at it.
This is why I get so many bitches, right? So, what?
False.
Did you say pause?
I said false.
Oh, false. I think you said pause. What do you like? What is your way of watching YouTube? Do you scroll through the feed? Do you look for a specific thing? What do you do as a viewer?
Me?
Yes.
I as a viewer, I do a little bit of both. Sometimes I'll use the search bar. Sometimes I'll look at like my subs feed. Sometimes I'll go to the homepage and see what they got to offer or
Nice.
trending.
Nice.
Just like everybody else uses YouTube.
Now, do you know how YouTube started?
No, I don't. Are you gonna teach us?
I have no clue, dude. I was just asking. No, I'm just kidding. I do know. So it was I guess it was a project that these kids were starting, and basically it was a video contest. They said, at the end of this date, we're going to see who can make a video that has the most views. Whoever wins gets an MP3 player. And now it's a lot different. They have like TV shows now.
So how does that branch off from YouTube?
Well, I was just thinking.
How does that mean they made YouTube? I don't get that.
Well, so it was YouTube, right? It was a website that you could watch videos and make videos. So basically, people would upload their videos, and whoever got the most views won. Kind of see?
You're certainly not getting very many views.
Interesting.
And this is what you talk about.
All right. Okay. So I was going to say, though, how interesting is it that kids these days, I'm not just saying like young adults, I'm saying like even kids, they can start a YouTube channel, go viral once, and they're almost like, they could be set for life.
Did you turn into a bot or something, like some sort of marketing bot?
I'm just saying, dude. Like, come on, work with me here.
Are you wearing a shirt that I seen a 5-year-old wearing at the park the other day?
I'm not allowed to go to parks.
I guess not. I guess you're not allowed to understand dimensions and proportions either, because your beer mug is what I buy milk in. It's the container that milk comes in.
It's like a carton?
A gallon? Yeah, it's a gallon. Carton is cardboard. I don't know who buys milk in a carton anymore other than school lunch programs and you.
That was such a cute little giggle there. I liked it. Oh my gosh. So what are you in the mood for?
Wait. All right, Nolan, I need you to give us some dating advice on how you pick up women, because you got the gift of gab.
All right. So what
I'll pretend I'm a girl.
Okay.
And I'm just sitting at a bar. What do you do your thing? So I'm just,
All right. Ready? Hold on. So usually, like, I need to mentally prepare myself for this type of situation. So I'm gonna do that right now. So.
Okay.
So, when was the last time you shit? Do you come here often to shit?
I'm not shitting. I'm just at the bar.
Because it looks like you're shooting the shit with me.
I'm not, though. I'm not. I have a very baritone voice for a woman, by the way. I probably could have went a little bit higher.
A little bit higher there.
Keeping my normal voice.
I mean, you know.
Yo, get away from me. My name is Helga. The only women whose name are Helga have voices that deep.
All right, so I got a little something for you. Ready? A plane is passing through a storm when a wing is struck by lightning. One woman freaks out and screams, "I'm too young to die. I want my last minutes of life to be satisfying. I've had plenty of sex, but I've never been fulfilled. Is there anyone on this plane can make me feel like a woman?"
Yo, you're reading my diary.
Listen, a gorgeous man stands up, says, "I can make you feel like a woman." He starts to walk slowly up the aisle, unbuttoning his shirt one button at a time. Muscles ripple across his chest, and he extends his shirt
this is long.
to the trembling woman and whispers, "Iron this." Oh my god, that's a funny ass joke.
Yeah, that was horrible. That wasn't even a joke.
Oh, it hurts.
Yeah, okay. So what do you do for fun?
I usually
actually scratch that. I don't really care. How about this? How about this? You be the woman at the bar. And I'll be the player.
Okay.
Next. All right. Hey, what's up, baby? I like the way you're jamming that beer down your gullet.
Hey.
Hey. You like black men?
Sometimes.
No. Never mind.
Where are you going with that one?
You're supposed to resist. You're supposed to resist, and I'm supposed to use my charm and wit to make you fall for me. But then you just.
Why would I say I don't like black men? I don't get
it. Depends. I don't know. You're supposed to resist more, not like come on to me, you know?
Oh, I see.
Yeah. But
so I could say that I really enjoy black men. That would be like resisting you, right?
No, that would actually be calling me. That would be a mating call.
That's
be begging.
It's cultural
appreciation.
Cultural appreciation.
Exactly. And I'm actually, this is a cliche now, but I am black from the waist down.
Yes.
It's 100% fact, and I promise I am.
Can you
right now?
Can you show us?
Absolutely. I am black from the waist down.
All right. Ooh, wait a minute.
What's that? And no, they're not pants. Don't even try.
Interesting. So you're like a walking Ken doll now, huh?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
You don't have a schlong.
Don't assume my gender. I thought we said that before.
Oh, that's right.
I thought we said that.
We actually did say that, didn't we?
And then what do you do?
I assumed your gender.
Right.
Now I have a question about that. Is that because you don't want anybody to know? Or is it because you're insecure?
About the gender?
Yeah.
Neither. It's just, it's none of your business.
So when you fill out applications and they say male or female.
I just don't apply. Anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got a job now, Jake? You work now?
I have an interview, actually, this Wednesday.
Because last time I checked, you can get paid doing interviews. Only on porn, bud. Only on porn.
No, yeah, you can, but it's not that.
It's not a casting.
No, it's like a supply chain. It's the operations coordinator thing.
Operations coordinator for.
I don't want to say.
Okay, you don't want to say. That's fine.
I don't want to say.
How long do you see yourself working for this company?
Well, I have to see if I get it first.
If you get it, hypothetically.
Maybe forever.
Really?
Maybe, yeah. Why not? Work your way up.
You think you would want to do that there?
Possibly.
Is it a upcoming company, or is it a company that's been around for a minute?
It's been around for a minute or two.
Is it Tesla or anything like that?
So what was your biggest regret as a child?
My biggest regret as a child is
it's porn. It is porn, by the way.
So. I knew it. My biggest regret as a child is probably. It's a good question. On to you. What's your biggest regret?
Becoming friends with you, I would assume. It's definitely up there.
What's your biggest regret?
I just said it.
Really?
I stand by that point, yeah.
Firmly you stand by it.
And I'm not budging. I mean,
okay.
Try to make me budge.
It was a little rude, but I'm gonna allow it for my show here. Right. What about the news? You heard anything in the news lately?
I have heard some stuff on the news. The immigration, how it's the separation of families.
Didn't they change that recently? Didn't fucking Trump?
Yeah, he signed something that they can't separate them anymore.
Which is good, right?
Yeah, that's good to not separate children from their moms.
Right. So
that's like something like a dead person and a sociopath couldn't understand, and just those two people. So, and you're alive. That narrows it down.
So, is there a problem with this, or why is it in the news?
It's just not very ethical to do that. But I don't know if you think it was Trump's idea, if it was his policy to do that or not. What do you believe?
I think personally that Trump wants to be a dictator, and it's probably going to end up happening at some point or another. So
no, he's not.
Yes, he is, my friend.
Nuh-uh.
Dude, listen, I voted for the guy. I know what he's like. I know his mind. I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to be like Kim. It's almost like Mike, but it's like Kim.
He has his shoes on. I want to be like Kim. In his like way too up high button suit.
You know, honestly, I think that suit, man, it kills me.
Chokes him to death.
Did you notice his haircut is different now?
Kim's?
Yes.
The
other day when I saw a picture of them shaking hands, it was totally different from, the pictures, the nice pristine bowl cut. It was way different from that. It was like a Justin Bieber style hair.
He does not have fucking like.
He does, dude.
Like early Justin Bieber with like the thing that everybody had in middle school haircut, or
yeah, when they would always go like this, they go.
He's got some silly bands on and stuff. He's like, "Okay, nice to meet you. Do you like Fall Out Boy and Osiris's?"
I'm Kimmy. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. He's like, dude, I hate my mom. Can't stand her. Yeah, no, I didn't see that he got like a Justin Bieber hair, like his Justin Bieber's new haircut. I don't know what that's like. I don't follow him. I don't.
Oh, you don't follow Justin Bieber?
No, I don't. I could care less.
Really? That's interesting.
Not really.
Because I feel like a lot of what you do on the daily basis is almost images of him at his early age. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What parts? So I can stop doing them.
You're doing it right now. You're drinking water, aren't you?
Did he drink water?
He has drinking water.
Not this guy. I dehydrate myself.
Did that break?
I hope not. I don't know. That's the one that you got me a long time ago, those whiskey glasses, by the way.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
That's why I didn't have a problem dropping it. Yeah.
That was expensive.
How much is it worth now?
Do you still have those rocks?
I do. They're in my freezer.
Yeah.
The whiskey rocks, yeah. Let's see. I also have that silver coin you gave me. It's like a big silver coin. It says like Austria or something.
Australia. You know how much that
was? Australia? Yeah, $20. Right
now?
Yeah.
I don't know. It might be worth less actually right now.
That's all right. I'm sorry about it.
It's you know, like it's whatever. Fine. I don't care. It's actually worth $16.36 right now.
Nice.
So
you regret that decision.
It depreciated in value, so you're welcome.
Thank you. Nolan's a master of the markets. He understands them well.
Speaking of, what about you in crypto? Are you still into that or what?
No, I'm not really into it anymore because like the whole bubble thing burst really bad. Yeah. I don't really. It's too annoying because I was spending a lot of time when I had all my money in there, like looking at it constantly and being afraid. So I just said, fuck this. I sold it all.
Really?
Yeah, I sold it all back in like February or March.
Damn.
Yeah. By the way, when you were a kid, you used to always be grounded.
Mm-hmm.
Every time we ever try to do anything, you were grounded. Do you still get grounded today?
Sometimes I feel like it.
Yeah?
I do. But I don't still get grounded today. I think they realize that, you know, I'm living on my own in a different state. Maybe they should stop. I'm 21.
Did you move away to a different state so you could get away from all the groundings?
No, I moved due to my job, so I couldn't
be grounded.
Couldn't continue to be grounded. So
you are more grounded than a tree is to electricity. You like that one?
A tree is to electricity. That's interesting.
You can keep it.
That's very interesting.
Yeah,
I think it's interesting because I don't think you were ever grounded. Ever.
I never really got grounded. If I did something bad, I just had a short leash and couldn't do as much.
Like, what's one of the things that really got you when you were a kid?
Dude, I don't know, man. Like, I never really got in trouble. I mean, I don't know what trouble is just because my mom, you know, she's so nice, but she used to micromanage a lot of things and she would be yelling all the time. So I didn't know when
you were actually in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
I never got in much trouble.
I feel like I shouldn't have, but I don't.
What is the dumbest thing you got in trouble for?
One time I left a sock in the dryer. I think that it's tied between the sock in the dryer or leaving the shower curtain open after I was done.
That's are you sure that there was a sock in the dryer? Yeah, because you were grounded, or did you like argue?
No, it wasn't like that. It was basically, I don't remember the exact circumstances, but it was something along the lines of I've left a sock in the dryer before, or like underwear and something, and they decided that if I was grounded for it, then I would learn my lesson to make sure whenever I did my own laundry to grab all of my clothing items out of the facilities.
Out of the facilities. Well, I guess the elephant in the room here is, do you still leave socks in the dryer? I
cannot remember the last time I left the sock in the dryer.
Good, so it worked. Because we were in the Priest Boys.
We were in the Priest Boys. That was an actual gang at one point.
It was an actual gang. Priest Boys were a bunch of boys becoming men who would ride around on penny boards and do cool tricks. What else did we do? We did some charitable work.
Yeah, we did. I feel like the biggest thing with the Priest Boys is the name of Priest Boys to this day is still, they will not agree on who created it. I think that's the biggest takeaway from this.
Who created it?
I believe that I was in the back of your mom's car where you were driving, and we were down the 219. I think probably from the 219 from Hamburg Gaming. And I said, we were thinking of a name for all of us, and I said Priest Boys. But Trey thinks that he created the name Priest Boys. Don't know what his story was, but that's how I remember it.
I don't even remember any of that. I thought it just kind of, it almost feels like it just naturally happened. Like everybody just was in agreement that this organization could be made.
I think that it naturally happened with it coming out of my mouth in the back of your vehicle.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
I think that's right, because you really started. I think you started Priest Boys because you were the one who was like putting a PB on your penny board. Trey was in the Priest Boys, but he wasn't very active.
Yeah, I don't think so as much as. I mean, fuck, the Priest Boys even had a photo shoot. I don't know if you remember that one.
I do remember that. How many people were in it? I don't even remember. There was a good amount. I would say at least like 4 or 5.
No, at least way more than that. So. There was probably at least 10, I would say, because we extended some into the female regime.
Oh yes, I remember that was like the board met and tried to pass that.
Yeah,
and we're like, should we allow females? And we said it's 2014 or 15. We
probably should. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we allowed some of them, and then we had some people that weren't super close to us, but we were taking that photo shoot in the bathroom, and we ended up gaining some members that way. I don't know if you remember that one.
No, I do remember that. I do remember that one. I really remember that. I remember that one. I remember the one that was on the ramp too at the skate park that we have.
Yeah, the ramp at the skate park that should be like in a 90s movie.
You know the pitch. Let me be honest with you. You know that picture of the guy, the unknown man or whatever, and he stands in front of the tanks.
Yes.
You know what it is? He's standing in front of all those tanks. And they try to go past him, and he goes like this. There's like that video, and there's that picture of him doing it. I think that photo of the Priest Boys is more iconic
than that. I agree. I agree. Because it was like so captured in time. It was like you're there in the picture with the members, and it was just very emotional. It was very emotional.
Very emotional. And we rode off into the sun.
I mean, there's a picture behind you of a lot of the founding members.
Yes. Yes, that was actually the last one of the Last Suppers. This one was like the third to last supper. Maybe the third to last supper.
Give or take.
This was from a trip that we took, actually. We had everybody that went on the trip right before all of us were going to college or going to the military and working our own jobs and doing our own thing. And this was the last time we all pretty much like ate at a dinner table.
Yeah.
And then we went our own ways.
I mean, it didn't look exactly like that, but there's a lot of symbolism in the painting. That
yes, yeah. Well, yeah, we weren't in togas, and there wasn't just like the Washington Monument wasn't right beyond it. But we did the togas. We tried to give it that biblical feel. So,
yeah, and we're obviously all playing poker. If you can't see that either.
Yeah, we were big into gambling, huge gamblers.
It was kind of, if pennyboarding wasn't our niche, it definitely was playing poker.
Yeah, one or the other.
Or gambling in general. Just
gambling. Or making a song.
Yeah.
Or what else?
Improving constantly. Just constantly.
Acting. Yeah, we always acted.
I don't know why we didn't become actors, to be honest.
Like, for real, I don't even think, like, you and I actually know who we are. Like, I don't know you. You don't know me. You just know.
I just know your character.
Yeah, same. So, nice to meet you.
I'm Nolan.
I'm R. Kelly.
Nice. Ooh, don't piss on my sheets.
But, yeah. And if it wasn't for that, we were trying to start businesses.
Yep.
Remember?
More like scams. But
No, I don't call them scams. They weren't scams. N&M marketing.
N&M marketing.
Do you remember that?
Yep.
That was yeah.
We had an Instagram for this one business. We made business cards.
Yeah.
We made a ton of big business cards. We tried to make that business like the go-to spot after school. Never really went through.
Well, they didn't go through. Remember, they weren't answering or anything, and it was like time for them to pay. So we didn't have cars at the time, so no one goes and walks down from his house. He's like this young kid, like the pizza shop owner is like, "Hey, what's going on?" Like he's some like made man in the mafia. And you want to keep selling pizzas? You better
pay up.
Yeah, you're gonna break your kneecaps.
Yeah, no, it was. Or if it wasn't that, then it was cults. It was cults as well.
Cults. We were trying to make something.
We did create a cult. I think we were very creative as. I wouldn't even say children, as young adults. Really.
Yeah, it was a cult. It was like a fraternity for high schools.
It was. I guess it was more like a fraternity, but we tried to make it a cult. I wanted to make a cult.
Yeah. I just don't want to get in any trouble. So I always get grounded.
Probably like, right, huh?
Hey, Mom, guess what I did?
Yeah, I made a cult today.
But yeah, I mean, but that business we did, it may have not been a very successful one, but it definitely was impressive.
We can put it in our portfolio, that's for sure.
Yeah, and at that age, to just go and do that. I mean, we went around to lots of different stores,
tons of businesses.
Yeah, like giving them our sales pitch, and then trying to get them to work with us. And we went around to basically every store that we could. And I was surprised that they even would give us the time of day to listen.
Yeah, I think it's because they were such small businesses that they didn't even. I don't know. I guess. They really didn't have that happen to them often. I think that's a big reason.
Well, in general, that doesn't even happen. It's just two kids coming in and trying to market for you. But,
our biggest thing was I took a business law class in high school.
Yeah, that was your thing. Like, it's like, okay, why are we credible? It's like, oh, he's credible because he took a business law class, and I'm credible because I've read books about business. Then people are like, whoa, wow,
these guys are too qualified.
Yeah, how much do those services come for? That's got to be a pretty penny.
Because business law and marketing have a lot to do with each other, apparently. So.
I know, yeah, right. But it worked. I mean, we made our first. That was like the first $100 we made.
Yeah, we did
totally on our own.
We definitely had. We were in the plus for the whole business. So I mean, not a lot of business owners can say that, really, if you think about it.
Seriously, and we got free food out of it. But it was cool. I think it's cool. I think that's probably one of the most cool things I look back to that you and I did when we were kids, or myself as well. Just for me, I don't know if it is for you too, but for me, it is. That's a big deal. Just being that young and wanting to go and do that. Yeah,
I feel like if we were to keep up that pace, we probably could be millionaires at this point. Who knows?
Yeah, what happened? Like, why did that fall out?
I left. You went to college.
Yeah.
I think we just kind of we're accepting our fate, even though we won essentially in the business game. So.
The current of the mainstream was too strong and pulled us in.
Yep.
Just sucked us right in.
Pulled us two different directions, but
yeah.
I mean, I think maybe this next go round, I feel like we'll have another shot at things. And I think that because we did those things, we'll have more experience, a lot more personable skills. And I think it could help us in the end.
Yeah, definitely. And that's just, you just got to do it though. Like if you want to do something like that, you just have to literally just go do it, not overthink it too much. Just think it when you're doing it. Because like, for example, like when we did that, the reason that happened is because I remember I was taking a shit and I thought of this thing, and then I'm like, man, who's the perfect guy for this? Nolan. So then I call you, I go, hey, what are you doing? You're like, oh, I'm at my girlfriend's house. I'm like, all right, I'm going to come get you, dress nice. He's like, my clothes are all muddy because he was like playing around in the mud. I don't know why they were muddy.
I think I was mudding or something. Yeah.
Mudding?
Yeah.
With what? She has a 4-wheeler?
Yeah, she had a 4-wheeler.
Oh, okay. Mudding. That's mudding. 4-wheeler. That sounds.
All right, I used ribbed. Okay, fine.
But yeah, I called you. I picked you up. You went and changed, and we went and just started doing all these sales pitch.
Yeah, it was on the fly. We just did it. You literally caught me up to speed as we were driving in the car. So like, I had no idea what was going on. I was just like, all right, need to dress nice. All right, what's our next task? All right, we're gonna go to these places, this place, and this place. I'm like, all right, what are we gonna do? And then I was just like, all right, let's fucking do it.
But dude, that's so awesome though that you were willing to just go do it, even know what you were doing. Because I was like, yeah, I'm coming to pick you up right now, and then he's like, for what? For what? I'm like, I'll explain the car.
I think you're so persistent. I think it's because you like sold it to me. You're like, just don't ask questions. Just fucking get in the car.
You don't know what I got a dead body in the trunk or something. I need help bearing. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. And you
still would have done it.
I know. It's good that you did that. And Nolan and I are trying to start a business now. We've been like brainstorming ideas, but it's tough because he's in the Coast Guard, and
why'd you say it like that? You said it weird.
Because I was gonna say National Guard.
Okay.
I always confuse the two and then I was like, oh no, yeah. So he's in the Coast Guard, and you have like what, 2 more years on your contract, or something?
Till 2020.
Till 2020, yeah. So if he doesn't re-up his contract, we couldn't really move anywhere, do anything for 2 years. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's always the hardest part is figuring out the idea. And once you figure out that idea, so like previously we solidly agreed on one idea for a long time, and then it fell through due to legal reasons. So now it's like,
wait, which one is that?
The government sales one.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So like we literally couldn't do that if we wanted to, without a lot of different hoops to jump through, and it just was a lot for us, I think, as a small business that hasn't even existed yet.
An imaginary small business, yeah. Yeah.
So like now I think it's just the idea. It's like all in one big circle. So now we'll think of another idea, and then there's always something that gets in the way.
Yeah. But you just got to pursue them though. You just have to make time. Like if you're busy, what time do you start working? Like 8?
6
a.m. till like 4?
3:30.
Okay. So it was just 6 a.m. to 3:30, if you're so busy. If you go to bed at 10, you just have to start staying up till 3.
Yeah.
Till 3. Oh no, if you work at 6, but at least stay up till like 1 or 2, and that's when you would do it.
Right.
Then the bedtime. But
I think honestly, like if there was a way for us to be able to do something and like be at home and do it simultaneously, I guess that would be the only way that it would work for now, at least.
Well, the software development one was.
It is
possible, but Nolan doesn't want to learn how to code.
So the thing is with that is I do want to learn how to code, but I feel like I'm so behind in the game that at this point it's like I'm just Joe Schmo playing against the big leagues. You know what I mean? Because I feel like
Yeah, I do. Well, I mean, that happens though. That's how it is. I mean, there's always going to be, if you're going into a field that's already established, unless you totally innovate and make your own brand new thing, you create an entirely new avenue.
Right.
There's always going to be people who are more established than you. It's just about making something better, cheaper, and
faster, stronger.
Than the guy who isn't, running it now.
Right.
For example, Tesla or something. There's lots of car companies.
Right.
And they came, and they're like probably one of the only car companies that actually even start in the last, I don't know how many years, a couple of decades for sure. And one of the only ones who haven't gone bankrupt.
Which is insane.
Them and Ford. Dude, by the way, have you ever thought about, speaking of business and Tesla, have you ever thought about the things that he does and just think about it in this sense? So here, I'm going to be somebody who's not Elon Musk, but like a stoner. So they'd be like, yo, man, I got an idea. I want to make a car. It's gonna be a fast one too. It just runs off like batteries. And then also I want to, fly these things to space, and they're gonna land, and then they're gonna fly. They're gonna fly to Mars, and we're gonna get people to live on Mars. And then I want to dig under the city of Los Angeles and get people to travel like a couple 100 miles per hour to avoid all that traffic, man. What do you think?
I think you're insane.
That right? It just sounds like it's the crazy stoner talk when he says that, but then he does it.
That's true. It's interesting. I've never thought about it that way.
Sounds like such a high person's idea.
I mean, I guess if you think about it, even in history, it's like, all right, guys. So instead of a horse in a carriage, let's just create something that moves on its own.
You'll never replace the horse and carriage. Never.
Yeah, exactly. Or I don't know. That is a really good way of thinking of it. So I feel like now we need to make some outlandish claim and then just do it. So what would be in society today? What would be the most accomplishing thing that you could think of that would be just totally out there? That hasn't even been talked about yet.
Oh, okay. I think I don't know how much you would consider this one to fall into that category. My next podcast is going to be on this actually, but totally restructuring the higher education system. A total restructure.
Wrong.
What is it?
That seems plausible. It seems like it should happen. It seems like it will happen. Hopefully. You got to think higher.
Higher?
Higher.
Like higher than space?
Higher than space, dude.
Well, that would be traveling to different galaxies, but
let's do it.
Dude, we can't even get to Mars yet. You feel like you're behind the game in coding. You know how behind the game we'll be in
getting to a different galaxy.
Space and so this is our idea, investors. You see that thing, Andromeda? We're going to it. Don't tell us we're not, because we're going to it. We just need your money, and that's it. What are your credentials? I took a business law class, and I read business books. I did pretty good in geometry and stuff, so it should be a breeze. Come on.
I'm just saying, but if we follow along that same path, I guess. I think you're thinking of the way everyone else would think, but you got to think the way that you were trying to explain how to think. You got to think.
Well, I mean, the thing is, that is a huge step.
So
That's
I say,
huge step.
Listen, I say
Mars was the obvious next step in space. The galaxy thing is we can't even. How are we going to escape our galaxy?
I think our first step would be to join Space Force. All right, so we get on the train to Space Force.
It's a train. You take a train there.
We train our hardest.
Train.
We get into Space Force.
Yeah.
And then that would be our gateway. We rise through the ranks as 4-star generals, and we become the most spaciest Space Force space cowboys there is. I think that's how we do it.
Well, when you put it that way, that makes sense. What do you think about Space Force? Are you for it, against it, whatever, neutral?
Honestly, I think it's just a big money scam, basically, like money laundering. I think
he's gonna launder all his money in a giant space. That would be awesome.
Listen. So I think they're gonna hire all of NASA. NASA's gonna be completely shut down until the revolution restarts it back up.
Wait, dude, you are going super far. Like, do you think it's a good or a bad thing first?
Listen,
like, you think it's bad, right? But like,
I think
it's getting into conspiracy theories.
It's neither good or bad. Okay, so Space Force is literally just going to be a bunch of NASA employees that get paid tons of money just to keep their mouths shut and pretend that they're in this Space Force thing. And it's just going to keep they're going to fund billions of dollars in the Space Force, and it's really going to go nowhere because they've never even been into space, dude. Trust me.
Yeah, you're credible, man. I would definitely trust you. So you want to go to the galaxy, and don't you think they've been to space yet, dude?
Okay, well, maybe they've been in orbit, but they have not been in them. That's for a fact.
They have not. So they've been in like low Earth orbit, but not in space, in low Earth orbits.
I mean, orbit, it's not technically orbit, but yeah. Because you can't orbit around a flat surface. I don't know if you've ever thought about something like that.
You're one of those people. Okay, well, I don't want to argue with that right now because it's kind of...
Argue about what?
Huh? The shape of the Earth.
Oh, you mean the
dimensions and
the disk?
No. Is it 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional? Okay, so if you think it's flat, is it 2 or 3-dimensional?
3-dimensional.
Okay, so it's not flat then.
It is flat.
Flat is 2-dimensional.
It's 3-dimensional.
It's a 3-dimensional, flat, 2-dimensional thing.
Like a rectangle.
Right.
That's 3-dimensional.
So it's actually
also flat.
Okay, so it's a round, flat object that's 3-dimensional. So it's actually a can. So it looks like a tuna fish can.
It's
a can. So it should be the canned Earth theory, which sounds wonderful.
Do you like tuna in a can?
I do actually. I eat it a lot. With mayonnaise, dude, yeah, you get tuna, you stir it up with mayonnaise, you put some salt and pepper on there, and then you put on like oat nut bread. It's so good. See,
I like the chicken in the can.
Ugh, dude.
You put the chicken.
You must also like pissing out your asshole. You like that?
I mean, I don't like tuna, so.
But you like the liquid coming out.
Yeah, I like liquid chicken.
Liquid, that's good. Well, so Space Force, what are you so worried about? Other than that was a good segue, by the way.
Honestly, I thought it was a joke at first. I didn't take it seriously, so I don't think I ever will. I guess it's just plain and simple. I don't know if it's actually going to be a thing in Space Force.
I hope that it's not going to be. I hope it doesn't work because, like, for people. For companies like SpaceX, when they try to fly something to space, maybe launch a satellite, it's going to be way harder. Instead of just pretty much just doing it, and meeting other regulations and all that stuff. But instead of doing that, you have to get approval. For example, if you want to drive on the road anywhere you want, you can, but try driving through a military base. It's not going to be as easy. And that's just going to be a military base.
Right.
So that I don't like that.
How do you think gun battles will work in space?
I don't know because it won't really work.
Exactly. Or like, imagine hand-to-hand combat in space. They're like this.
Right? Like, it's just a crazy idea. Why do we need to fight in space? Like, let's worry about what's going on down here first.
Wasn't there like a treaty sign something or another that we couldn't do such a thing? Was that a thing ever? Do you know?
Probably. It makes sense. It's like, who owns the moon?
Exactly. I mean, we do. We have a flag up there, apparently.
Well, but no one really owns it. I mean, how do you own something that's not even, you know?
I guess it's like who owns the oceans? Whoever's closest.
Whoever's closest, but like we're all on the same planet.
Are we though?
So
are we all on the same planet though?
We're all on the same nice globe, round, spherical,
all right,
spinning, rotating planet, just orbiting the sun. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll leave that one for later.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. So let's see. So if you could do one thing, Nolan, with your life, what would it be? Like, what would your legacy be? What would you want your legacy to be?
I would want to change something. I would want to make millions of dollars doing it. And I would like to retire at a young age comfortably and live the rest of my life in peace.
Yeah.
What I would change, I do not know. How I would make all that money, I do not know.
Right. So,
but I can at least live my life in peace comfortably. And that's the one thing I do know. I can do that.
Okay, so rank the three things of order of importance. So would it be the change, and then the money, and then peace? What is the top importance of those things? If you could have two.
Peace.
So then, you being in peace?
Yeah.
Like just you. Only you.
Like I would want to be in a mindset to where I could be like, all right, I could die today and it would be fine. Like, yeah. I don't want to have all these unfulfilled things in my mind. Like, oh, I should have done this. I could have done this, blah, blah, blah. Like I would want to accomplish everything that my mind and body would want to accomplish.
Do you know what you want to accomplish?
And that's the thing.
So maybe you've already done it if you don't have any feeling to accomplish more.
I could have. But then it ranks into the change. I would want to accomplish change in something.
Yourself.
It could be myself.
Didn't I say you're sociopath? About the baby thing? So yeah. I don't care what happens to anything else. As long as I'm rich and in peace and make big changes. Yeah. That sounds pretty, sounds something like, what's his name? Fella from Germany in the 40s? The hell was his name? Do you remember?
No, I don't. I can't put my finger on his name.
Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey. You know, she's not pregnant anymore.
I didn't even know she was.
Me neither. I knew she was at one point, I think.
Do you watch a lot of like celebrity gossip news?
Yeah.
You do. You watch a lot. So what is your favorite? What do you like? E-News or TMZ or what do you
E-News. Like? E-News.
E-News. Okay. So what would you and your girlfriend's name be? Your little relationship Hollywood name?
It is Noel Sam.
Noel Sam. That sounds like a medication you use to treat a venereal disease. Noel Sam. Side effects include irritation, itchiness,
vomiting, diarrhea,
and thoughts of suicide. Please consult with your doctor before taking Noel Sam. And then I'll go some like old middle-aged woman looking super happy walking her dog. She's like, yeah.
How do you feel about the medicine industry and how much they make so much money off people? Do you think that's insane, or is that just a good business push?
From whose perspective? From theirs or just from general populations?
So I want to see it from your perspective, like your exactly perspective. Do you even find it offensive in any way, shape, or form?
I find it to be only 45% of microaggression. No, I mean, I'm not offended. I mean, I'm not really offended.
Not offended, but
annoyed or like.
Do you think it's sick almost that they make this pill for cancer and it's like $1 trillion, and when they really just make it out of fucking nothing?
Well, two things. One, the price of drugs does go up a lot. Not as much as it goes up way more than it should, but it does increase the price a lot, even if it is like a cheap formula, because it takes years upon years upon years upon years to even get approved through the FDA. And you have to do years of testing on people before you even try to get approved with the FDA. But do I think it's bad? Yeah, it's bad. It's not great because someone can't afford what they need. However, that's capitalism, really. That's just capitalism. Until other companies come in, it can't just be generic companies. There has to be more of a open market for pharmaceuticals that are regulated and are approved. But it's a very selective market. Like you have, for example, if you take one medicine, who competes with that medicine? Really, it's that name brand medicine, and then it's generic. And they're obviously going to, formulate a plan of action so that they can have the best profit possible. Right. Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why it's like that.
Now, how do you think we can solve the population issue?
Being overpopulated?
Yeah.
I don't think
do you think that's an issue in general, or do you think it'll never get?
I mean, yeah, it'll reach a point. Like the Earth has a carrying capacity. But I mean, what would make a large amount of people be an issue? What makes that an issue? Because you could have like 600 billion people and there could be no problems caused by it. Like what makes that an issue?
Well, a lot of people would probably say is like not global warming, but I mean, it could be global warming, but like the environment, it could probably affect the environment with the way more trash than people would normally use. It could be food shortages, water shortages. Like there's already millions and millions of people that are starving or they don't have access to clean water. So like, I feel like that would only just become more of an issue as more people.
Okay. So it's more of a cause and effect thing then, because there's a lot of people, but what the effect of there being a lot of people is the problem. Right. So if you can find ways to not have there be such a bad effect for so many people, you're fine.
Or if you find ways to keep the population down, then we won't have to worry about those effects.
Is this your grand idea for peace, wealth, and change?
I'm just saying is like, I feel like, because I remember we were in school at a young age. I think we were probably in elementary school, and the population was like 4.3 billion people.
Oh, okay.
The population now is like 7.6 billion people.
Yeah.
That wasn't even that long ago. Think about it. Think about 5th grade till now. Like,
not even like 20 years. It's not very much time.
So I feel like at this rate, I feel like it's just gonna just keep going up, and I feel like it could be a very big issue in the future. I don't know how to solve it.
Big issue how? Like catastrophe, or big issue like a
catastrophe?
Catastrophe. Probably. I mean, look at how Bitcoin, you're talking about cryptocurrency, it's going to build a bubble. It's going to make a bubble, and that bubble is going to pop. Everything's going to come crumbling down. It's going to reach its equilibrium. So it could happen that way. But what would you do to make it stop growing so much? Maybe keep cats on?
I think the first thing I would do is probably basically Ender's Game it, and make it so that way the people in that country, obviously different countries are going to have different opinions, but I think the UN should get together and be like, all right, listen, we can't have these people keep breeding, so we need to make it like a UN law that you can't have more than 2 children. Or
they did that in China.
Exactly, and it's still booming. So
they still have a huge pot. It's a pretty unethical practice. You can't have it. What if they do have another kid? What do you do? Throw them off the list?
No, then I think you should go through the system and be like, like there'd be like a waiver in process, or you could even serve like jail time. I feel like that would be the way to go. Like you should punish them in some sort of way. So that way they do not want to keep breathing, and that they keep, and, give access, give birth control and condoms to all these places that don't have exactly like the best access for it. Like literally just surplus them. And, so that there's no excuse, because it's not like you can't pull out, or you can't have not access to a fucking condom or have birth control.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if you just give everyone access to it, it would boost the economy for sure. With those two companies in particular, if the pullout game was a company, I'm sure they would make tons of money. But
the pullout company. That sounds sweet.
I just think that it could be a very big. It could be a game changer, and maybe that's what I'll change in the future. I don't know.
I don't think your legacy is going to be very favorable then. They're like, yeah, this is, we are remembering Nolan, the man who made it illegal to have a baby. And sends parents to jail if they have a child.
Think about it, though.
You can't solve it that way, though. Like,
why not? I'm just saying.
I'm starting to believe you are like some crazy socio.
No, think about it, man.
Why not?
All these people are fucking. First of all, they can't handle having one child. They can't financially keep one child stable in their lifetime, and then they go out and have 7 children. I'm just saying, there's some people in particular that they're just not educated enough to where they need to be educated, and that they need to learn about not about the consequences per se, but just think hey man, I could get jail time if I fucking sign for one more Social Security thing for this kid. This, it's just unbelievable, man. I don't know.
No, your policy proposal is unbelievable. I mean, I can see where I can understand. If you take all emotion away and all empathy away, which you don't have to worry about taking away because you don't even have it. I can see, I understand where that would be a solution, but things have to be ethical. They have to be somewhat ethical, especially if it's prosecuting people for doing something that humans are supposed to do.
It is ethical if you think about the future of the world.
If you think about saving billions of people's lives over one child, go to jail for a year, bro. And then after that, you should have to pay extra taxes. You should be punished for what you have done, so that way you never do it again. What do you think that would do to the child's self-esteem?
I think?
Look what look what you did. You ruined the world just by being born. You made me go to jail and I have to pay extra tax. And now a billion people are going to die because of you.
Then the kid could go right back and say, why the fuck didn't you pull out? You should pay fucking pull-out game.
Yeah. That's illegal, Dad.
Yeah,
no, I don't think
it's just people need to be educated, and they have to have the means of not reproducing.
Well, yes, they have to, but good luck. Any way you go about that solution, I feel is going to be kind of, it's going to be one of those world events that people look on.
It's going to be
we don't want to repeat that history.
Yeah. Or they're going to be well, this guy fucking saved the world. Thank you. He's living in Jamaica right now. Thank you.
Wealthy and peaceful.
I'm just saying.
Jamaica.
There needs to be something done.
Yeah, well, here, let's look at this. I think humans just naturally have a desire for immortality. That's why, in all reality, that's why we have such a booming medical thing. Forgot the word. That's why medicine and hospitals and everything are so important. And why are more people? Why is the population growing? Because we have more abundant resources. We have better healthcare. Things are safer. It's not so risky to go and get food. You don't have to go and try to hunt something. You just go to the grocery store and pick it up.
So you're thinking solely in America, in the general population of America.
Third world. I mean,
picture.
First world countries, westernized.
Talking Africa that still has tribes.
But their population has no issue. Like
exactly.
You don't hear like, oh, this tribe and I don't know,
right.
Is way overpopulated.
Right. I guess you're right there. But.
So So that might be why.
Do you think another genocide needs to happen?
No, I don't. Do you?
I was just trying to catch you slip.
Oh yeah, let's call it. Ooh, the close one. No, but if the population is not the issue is actually just running out of not having enough resources.
Okay. Unless the real issue lies in the environment. Unless the environment cannot handle that many people or that much trash.
The trash. Okay. So you're really worried about the trash.
No, I'm saying I'm worried about everything, right? So if the food and the water isn't the issue, so say like we go to the moon and we somehow figure out how to get running water up there and fresh water and fresh food, and they just keep sending fucking shit to the earth, and we're completely fine on food and water. Yeah. Then you got to think about another issue that could happen, which could be like, like people living in their own feces or just fucking Walmart trash bags everywhere. Like the other day, I read this article that said they found a Walmart plastic bag in the bottom of Mariana's Trench, the deepest point into the earth. And they found a fucking Walmart bag there.
Was it one of the old school ones that have a smiley face on them?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. That's pretty important. Know. You should find that out. Because it would probably take a while to get down there.
I would assume so. So, like, if we're already touching that part of the earth and we really have zero access to it besides, like, robots going underwater, I think we have an issue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, the issue population, or is the issue the trash and what it does to the earth? Because
they go hand in hand. The more people, the more
trash. You really hate trash. You just couldn't.
I'm trying to think out there. I'm just trying to.
Adolf Hitler had like an obsession with cleanliness too. Literally, he had an insane obsession with cleanliness. Like one of the first things that he committed genocide on was an overpopulation of rats, because they're just rodents.
Dirty,
yeah, he sees them as repulsive, and then he cleaned that up, and then he tried to kind of clean up the way you're talking about cleaning up. So no parallels. No, I'm just kidding. But no. Okay. So what about this? How about instead? Because I don't think we're going to be running out of resources anytime soon. Because if you actually look at the Earth from space and you see how round it is, and then you look at all the green and all the open fields, look at when it's nighttime and you see that image of Earth and you see all the lights, where all the lights are. They're all on like the coastline, all the major cities, and then in the middle of America. I'm just saying America just for simplicity's sake. There's all that extra green and, it's all dark and there's nothing there. That's all land. You can farm there. I'm not too worried about that. I think the thing that would need to happen is find a way to make trash either dissolve quicker or not be so harmful, or just eliminate trash. I don't know.
And I don't even know how I would do it. It's hard to live in a world where there's so many problems and there's no solutions.
There's solutions. What do you mean? The only solution to things is not to kill someone off. That's not like.
I'm not saying that.
There's much easier solutions.
I'm just saying that, I think in the future that there could be some very interesting and complex things that could happen if we don't take care of them now.
You hinting? Are you like, is that a threat? So that sounds like a threat. And Nolan, instead of this, scary conversation, how about this? How about you roast me? I want to hear you roast me. Bring it on. Let's go.
All right. I only got one thing to say, Jake. You, Jacob, can't even think of something. I can't, dude. I can't. I can't
say I'm perfect. You saying I'm perfect?
I think you are. You might be the definition of perfect.
Wow.
Looking wise.
Personality.
You know what you kind of look like?
A frog.
Oh, yo, from this light, you look like Anne Hathaway and Les Mis. Like, just your hair and your face right now. Like, when she cuts her hair completely off, that's what you look like.
I do.
And she's fucking hot, so.
Thank you, man. Thanks, dude. That's awesome, man. I appreciate that. Well, I guess I can say what you look like in this lighting. You look like a really angry gym teacher with your haircut and your 1994 Buffalo Bills sweater that I saw a 5-year-old wearing at the park, as I mentioned earlier. You probably beat up that 5-year-old student that you're teaching and stole that sweater. You look like a very strict dad who would be very into discipline. And but you're a nice kid.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem, dude. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Well, that concludes that episode of That Is Nice. And Jake, now I have to ask you a question.
Oh yeah, what is that?
Was it
nice? It was nice. Yeah.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching today's video. I appreciate all your love and support. Goodbye.
Be on the watch for him, folks. Be on the watch.